Guys, I'm a working man. I don't have millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars laying around or whatever to do these kinds of things. But it's more than worth it to me to relive my dream to get the car that I missed 40 years ago. The last time I saw that car was probably in 1987 or 88 when it was in Kyle's shop and they were repairing the where the wreck damage was. And I never saw it again until, what, 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago when I came over here and we opened the container and went in there and looked at it, looked at some numbers.
That's why Shelby restorer Jason White is here to check out the numbers and the parts.
And my name is Alan Hotchkiss. I just want to see the look on his face when he opens that. And B, I've heard stories about this car for a while.
Are you related to this guy? Or?
I'm Josh McMahon. Kyle's my uncle.
Were you around at that time, you guys, or?
I was 5.
I was born.
All he knew was don't touch it.
Yeah, that was it. Don't touch it.
So I haven't seen it in almost 40 years.
Kyle is selling the car after more than 35 years of ownership. His car friend Terry is buying the Shelby. 1985, Terry found the car, could have bought it for $1,500.
I had a brand new 84 20th anniversary edition GT-350. And I'm sitting at a red light in Midland, and this truck pulls up next to me, and he honks at me, rolls his window down, and I roll my window down, and he goes, "Hey, I've got a GT-500. We pulled into a parking lot, started talking, and he said it had been in an accident. It was in his backyard. Went over there, and he thought it was totaled. It had been hit in the door and in the rear quarter panel, and I don't want to say it wasn't substantial, but he was parting it out. The engine and transmission were gone. If I remember right, the instrument cluster was gone.
The Plaza glass decal still a little there, looks like.
Plaza Fiberglass made the fiberglass for the deck lids.
The steering wheel was gone. I don't recall any emblems on the car, but you could definitely tell it was certainly a 67 Shelby. I asked him to stop parting it out.
Right there in the middle of that.
Say Borg Warner?
Yeah. Steel framed.
Borg Warner made steel-framed fiberglass deck lids for Shelby, and they are rare.
I tried to go get the money from the bank. Guys, at that time I was making like $1,500 a month. I couldn't afford that. So I knew Kyle and James. I had met them a few months before, James and Kyle.
Okay, we're gonna winch this thing out of here. 67 Shelby.
We need to put some skates underneath those rear tires, jack up the rear end. Yeah, that tire's.
Yeah, let me see if I can.
Try to get it out as far as we can.
Now, how are you going to restore this thing? Are you going to do it yourself or work on it yourself or what?
Mechanically stuff, I'll do that. I'll work on that. I've done quite a few over the years. I used to do body work when I was a much younger man, but body guys earn their pay. That's what I'll say. Yeah, we got plenty of cable. Hey Kyle, you got a sling we can wrap around the rear axle? This just needs to be draped over the rear axle, just on either side of the pumpkin.
I wonder if I can tell the.
So right now, as far as I might take it, where it's primered up, I might go get some dark moss green and try to match it up a little bit on the primer spots. And
A little more?
guys, I'm just going to enjoy the car the way she looks. I mean, might put a good polish on it with some wax, or I don't think I'd clear coat it just to protect it, but that's as far as it's going to go right now.
You about to go on that jack?
I may have a change of plans in a year or two, but I plan on driving this thing. I'm very, very excited to actually see this car out of the container to where I can see a broadside of it in it and see how it really looks today. The interior looks pretty nice, just opening up the door a little bit that I can get in there and look at. It doesn't look like it's torn or ripped or anything anywhere, but it might be.
These are the original scoops and they're early cars, so that you get in there, you can see they're functional. They still have the hoses. Now, originally they would have had a clamp that held that on there. Somebody duct taped it, but these are the original, correct. Shelby installed scoops, and they used a big hole saw and cut a hole, and they would have drilled out the side scoop and made that functional.
You can see.
Yeah, you can see how it functions. This side has been hit before, and as you can see, it's got blue paint, and they spliced it in right through here.
This side was hit.
Yeah, this side was hit and repaired, and they spliced it in through here.
The roll bar's there.
Correct shoulder harnesses. Somebody's put a headliner in it. That's too shiny. But all the panels, the fold down is correct, and all the interior panels, somebody cut speaker holes, which is a very common issue.
And the comfort weave seats, they look like.
And it still has the original front seat belts that Shelby installed. It's got the comfort weave. And this is real comfort weave. This is actual breathable material. You got the seat backs are there. It's got the original seat belts. Shifter is an aftermarket Hurst. This instrument cluster has been changed out. Clock's gone. Original radio's gone. Luckily the gauge cluster's still there. That's
no
one of the few
radio.
pieces left in the interior.
Now I don't understand. That looks like a tack dash.
It is a tack dash, but the Shelby's had an 8,000 RPM tack dash in them.
This one goes to 6,000.
Which would be correct for like an S code or something like that, but all the Shelby's at 8,000 RPM tack.
What about this? Boy, the dash pad. Look.
Yeah, the dash pad's pretty good. That's got a little warpage, but that's a good dash pad. It's got the original windlace. That's in good shape and be cleaned up. Still has the original door seals with the original tags still there.
Mm-hmm.
Both of these are the original doors. They are both deluxe doors, so they have the plastic, the square holes under the plastic for the lower grille. And they're both the original doors. The original wood steering wheel's long gone.
Yeah, it was gone, I believe, when I saw it in the backyard.
Well, what is that?
This is the aftermarket steering wheel. Pedals are in good shape, but these old cars around 45, 50,000, they were wore out. The original pinion snubbers are under there. The original springs are still under there. Here's the original fender. It's got the original emblem holes on it. That's probably the original decal, and then they striped around it. Is it definitely this has the original paint on it? Yeah. The cowl, the hood, that fender over there. This looks original paint. The door jambs are original paint.
First time it's seen daylight in like 35 years.
Really good, smooth, nice fiberglass, and those broke spots hadn't been hit. Usually they're patched up right in these corners.
Now, what happened to the original motor in this thing?
It was gone when I saw it in that backyard. The gentleman that had it, that pulled me over at the red light, the engine and transmission were both already gone. He had already sold them.
Yeah.
I bought that Ford dealership brand new. Hyper 29 dual point. Hyper 29 setup.
Structure wise, it's really solid, good. Original shock towers, nothing been replaced, nothing's been wrecked or anything up. Everything's good and straight. Got the original low tension springs still there.
That's your Shelby van over there.
Yeah, right there's the Shelby VIN. Well, that's a good readable one too.
Oh yeah, it's pretty nice.
67, the 1967 model year. 4 is the 428 engine. 0, 4-speed transmission. 1 would be automatic. 0, base vehicle. F, fastback. 5, dark moss green paint. A, black interior. 01082, the Shelby production number. The Shelby VIN plate is missing on the fender apron under the hood, exposing the Ford VIN. I blacked out the last 6 digits for confidentiality, but this VIN is the Ford VIN of Shelby number 1082.
It's got the original apron right there. It's got the date code. It's got the original screws where they added the block from Shelby. Right here, Shelby drilled that hole. This is where the wiring came around for the harness for the alt gauge right here, and there would have been a plastic retainer for that.
Oh.
The original hole from Shelby right there.
Where?
In the firewall?
Right there where they, this is actually probably the original that ran down to the sending unit.
Is that what they use?
They're a manual gauge, yeah, they're not
Really?
electric.
What'd that go to?
This goes to the oil gauge. Now
That's
they
oil
would have
pressure gauge.
originally ran it through the harness and over to here. This is the original fan blower motor protector for big blocks. That's a big block piece.
Weren't some of those taken out?
They
after
were
put the engine in?
reused. They would take them off sometimes and reuse them after the engine was installed.
What about the shock?
Those are aftermarket shocks.
Okay. The ones on the back, I would think, are red.
Yeah, those would be aftermarket too.
Okay.
Originally, they were been an Autolite adjustable shock. That's the way. It's kind of like a Coney,
Yeah.
but they would have been Autolite. And finding a pair, even counterfeiters, $2,000. No rust in the battery box at all. It underneath feels really good. Now the tray itself looks like it's replacement. Yes, that's a replacement tray. They've been reproducing those forever. But the apron itself is original. It still has a hole in it right here for the little reinforcement bracket.
That's a 67 radiator.
Yeah, 67. Yeah, those are hard to come by.
I wish it had a fan shroud.
It is a big block radiator?
Yep.
Right
Here's
here.
the number.
C7ZEG2,
And here's the FOMO.
Ford Motor Company.
67 had its own special radiator that saddled down in here. They don't reproduce them.
Look what you found. I thought it was gone.
What'd you find?
That's a 71.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, forget it.
That's
then.
not a 67.
What'd you think you found?
I thought it was the original radio that, if I remember right, from way back when, it was missing from the very get-go.
What about these headlights and bracketry and all that?
Bracket's all right. The headlights are actually original. You can barely make out the FOMO in the middle. So these outer ones have been replaced, but the bracket's all right. Trim's gone. The lower grill is still there. Down in here, that's the correct grill. It's missing the rubber on it, but they never lasted. No time. Hard to tell if that's a original bumper or not. I don't see a date code on the bumper. Usually they got a date code right on that lip right there.
Now, is there supposed to be a power steering oil cooler or something?
Yeah,
through
right
here?
there. Yeah, that's the holes that they drilled.
Right.
And then these two screw holes here are for the cooler. And then the hoses ran through there. All the original wiring. That goes up to your headlight. And then these extensions here, Shelby added them. But those are tape. Usually they had a white splicer. Shelby uses those white splicers. Here's one still there. That white splicer. That's what Shelby used when they added the headlight harnesses.
Now, something about these were different, wasn't it?
They're stapled on. There's a real clear one right there.
Oh, here's a big deal on originality. Or is
No, they reproduce them.
They
They're
reproduce them.
spot on the repos.
Can you tell if those valve covers are original?
Without taking them off, looking at the bottom, it's kind of, I would say, as old as they are, the early repos didn't have the power before on them.
Oh,
Yeah, they're original. That's a couple grand.
they're as valuable as the ones that came on a 428 then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, real close.
You just swap.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Oh, you taking off the radiator hose?
No, putting it on.
Oh, are you seriously going to try and fire this up today?
Absolutely.
Did you hear him?
No.
I asked him if you're going to fire it up today.
I got gas, Kyle,
Me too.
and a battery, but I'd like to know if it's going to turn over first. I've got a torque wrench in the truck.
When did you last run it? Tell me about the bed again. How's it go?
That's lunch. Oh, well, look at this. Turns over smooth. Get that fan out of the way. I'll get the wrench out.
You know who built that engine?
Do what?
You know who built that engine?
Yeah, you. How about we get a battery and see if it'll turn over?
Okay.
Right here?
Sure, why not?
What'd you find, Jason?
Yeah, it's like a lot of original paint on it. Original. A lot of the interior parts are here.
Yeah.
Got the original correct seat belt.
I got to see this.
I hope it's got juice left in this thing over there. A little big for the box.
So you think it's been over 10 years since you cranked it up?
Yeah, at least.
At least 10 years?
Kyle, you just want to bridge it off solenoid?
So
We need to do a fire check after this gets hooked up.
We're neutral on that.
I hope it's a new.
You
That's
got
crazy.
what?
All right, you want some gas?
Yeah,
I got a little bit. What are you thinking?
I don't know what's in the tank at all.
That's a good. Here's your filter. We ain't sucking anything with that little bit.
Okay.
We can undo this.
Yeah.
That way we're not sucking any bad stuff out of it.
Who's going to drive it?
Not me.
Not with the rear brake locked up like that. It ain't going anywhere yet. Whoops. There it is. Okay, now at least we won't be pumping bad gas. Let me get a little bit.
Okay.
Here's your starter.
Yeah. And you're gonna put the key in and turn it on.
Is this automatic or manual?
Manual.
That could be tricky.
It's not, I don't think the bowls are full yet. Once that thing blows back, I better keep my eyebrows handy.
40 pounds of pressure on the start.
That's what I wanted to know. Come on, baby, you're close. I don't think it's liking that old fuel too much.
Probably not.
I wonder how much fuel's in the tank.
Is it sucking fuel?
Yeah. It's just not firing it.
I think Kyle's getting sentimental. I think he wants to tear the car and run one more time.
What was our game plan to drive it on that way?
Kyle,
Yes,
you'd like to hear it run one more
I
time.
would.
Huh?
I really would. Been a long time.
And why are you doing this?
To get new gas in so he can start it. Kyle is bound and determined to get this thing started. How many gallons in this tank?
What was it, 16?
You gonna fire it now?
Yeah, it's going.
So how hard is it to leave this go?
Oh, it's real hard. When you have no choice, you have no choice. It's it trying to start on its own fuel. All right, we're gonna put water in it. That's enough. Get fired. Sounds pretty rough, doesn't it?
You don't have water in it yet?
Not yet, not yet.
Is the car really changing hands?
Yeah, well, somewhat. It's more or less been adopted out. That other door's open.
So you've been into cars for a long time.
Since I was 15. Yeah, my dad and I started doing something for us to do together, and that's what we did. So the day he died. Had that half-built car there that he left me that we were working on when he passed. 65 GT Fastback, K-car with Tony interior. It's going to be a rest mod. My dad was building it. He and I were building it together when he passed. He left it to me, and he wanted me to do it the way he laid it out. The only order he gave me was finish it up the way I planned it. Yes, sir. So, I'll keep that one.
Yeah, I'm about to change wheels and tires. These are Kyle's. Yeah, these came off of his 68.
What have you got to put on here?
1969 Mercury Marauder Magstars. Similar to what came on these, but they've got trim rings and they're only 15 by 6, not 15 by 7. See if these work.
He's sad to see this thing go. Did you know that?
He wouldn't let it go. It wasn't from a health issue. He'll be doing it. It'd be one of his retirement projects. And that 66 fastback that's in there. I don't know if he told you or not, but that's a K-code. And that's the one he inherited from his dad, so it's really special. He wants to really take all this money and put into that. He's one of the best guys I've ever met. Give you the shirt off his back. Kyle and I have kept in touch all these years, 40 years now, and that car kept coming up in conversation.
Yeah, conversations went like this. If you ever sell that car, you will call me.
Every single
That was
time.
the only-
Kyle called me a month or two ago and said it's time, so
Well, my health. I have Parkinson's and I'm just not going to be able to get it done.
there's parts all around up in here that we need to look for. Said there's the 2.4 intake, the 2 carbs on it I'm sure are not, they're not original, they're not the upper grill's here somewhere, there's some valve covers somewhere.
What we got there?
2 4 barrels, an FE intake.
Are those original to the car, you think?
No.
Hand-built
This setup came with my 68 Shelby, but I don't need it. I got a single 4 barrel for it.
Well, what about the carburetors? Are they the BJBKs?
I don't know what they are. They're not original. Thing is heavy.
Got it.
Right here in the shade. You find the valve covers? Show them to me. Those are new, they're not original?
Better than nothing.
What small block you talking about?
The one that's actually in the car. A little 302 that I put in there just to drive it. Back in those days, they put some original parts in there.
Show them to Jason. What do you think of these?
Pretty nice. Those are repos.
Yeah, the brand new ones too.
What about the carbs? What do we got there, Jason? Do you
They're
know?
just regular 600 Hollies. Yeah, they both got chokes. A 2 4 barrel setup only has 1 choke. And then the vacuum diaphragms have nipples that come off of them that are linked together.
Look, as long as it'll work on the engine I put together, great.
What do we got? C7ZX 9425 dash.
Hey, we're trying to decide if that's an 8 or 9. It looks like an 8, but it also could be a 9 because that bottom loop circles up and touches the bottom of the upper loop. If it's an X,
The 9, it's the correct intake. It's definitely not a repo, as old as it is.
Oh, no,
So
it's
you don't have to worry about that.
No, it's not a repro.
The repos don't have Fomaco on them either.
if you guys will look at that,
That's a 9.
it is very hard to see. But if it's a 9, it's the correct one, right, Jason? So
I would say it's correct.
So he has the correct intake then?
yeah, that'd be great if it was.
Did you find the grill?
Yeah.
Well, here. Where'd you find that?
It was on the back of the Corvette. It has got so much dust on it.
What number is this car?
1082.
Yeah, that's the little bit earlier one. They had the lanyard hole on the grill when they were sometimes there, and sometimes they would drill them in the actual bracket. Yours was actually in the bracket.
But these did come with the GT-500 badge then, because it's flat,
They would
right?
have plastic too.
Well, who won the bet?
Kyle did. Because
What?
it fired off.
That's all it needed. So you won the bet. So what do you win?
Lunch.